Hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. Or if you happen to be a first-time viewer here or just haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It really helps the channel out. Click on that big red subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest Star Trek news on YouTube. So today we've got some great big news in the form of a trailer for Star Trek Prodigy. It dropped a few hours back as part of the Comic-Con at Home event, and I gotta say, it looks beautiful. The show looks beautiful. We finally got to hear some of these characters we've been seeing some promotional shots for in recent weeks, and best of all, we got to take a look at the ship these guys are going to be on as part of the new show here. So let's take a look at the trailer shot by shot. We'll go through it, analyze it, and see what we can learn about this new Star Trek series of Star Trek Prodigy. So one thing that I was worried about with Star Trek Prodigy is that it was going to be too kiddish. Now, looking at this trailer, it doesn't seem like that is going to be the case. I was hoping it was going to be something along the lines of the Star Wars, the Clone Wars series, in terms of it being open to both adults and kids, in terms of audience that can enjoy it. And I think looking at the trailer here, it's going to be very much in that ballpark. The Hagemans at the Comic-Con at Home event said that their first and foremost thing was to tell interesting stories with interesting characters. If it's interestingly told stories, the characters are engaging, I think it's going to be a great show to watch. I don't get the impression that there's going to be, ridiculous, I don't know, fart jokes and things like that that are, that are catering to, 6 or 7 year olds. I get the impression that they're just going to tell good stories with good characters, and it's going to be some show that everybody's going to be able to enjoy. So let's look at the trailer a shot at a time and see what we're in for in Star Trek Prodigy. So in our first look at the trailer, we see Dahl with a couple of other mining grunts here pushing a large piece of machinery on what looks like a very inhospitable mining planet. They're doing some pretty hard labour from the looks of things. Then we hear an ominous voice say, "No one shall escape." It definitely seems like Dahl is our main character here in this show, and he's very much hopeful. He says,
"I'm getting out of here to a better life."
It definitely seems like his existence on this mining planet isn't the best. Then we hear from Zero, who's the Medusan character, who says,
"You're the only one who still thinks he can."
It appears like everybody else has kind of given up hope in getting off this mining planet, but Dahl's pretty hopeful and optimistic. We then get a moment from Roktark, who, despite her dominating appearance, is quite a timid little girl, which is a nice contrast. And she says,
"What will happen if they catch us?"
Where we then see a bunch of mining robots of some kind looking very aggressive on the chase, possibly pursuing our heroes. We then get our first look at Jankum Pog, the Tellarite character, and he says,
"Like it or not, you're stuck with me."
I gotta say, as a Tellarite, he doesn't look that much like the Tellarites we saw in the original series, Enterprise, or for that matter, Discovery. Next we hear from the character of Murph, which kind of speaks in a series of sort of coos and bleeps and squawks and so forth, as D. Bradley Baker demonstrated. I kind of get the impression that the character of Murph is going to almost be like a bit of a, maybe R2-D2-like character as a sort of a sidekick to our crew here. Non-verbal, but certainly have a bit of a personality, much like R2-D2 has in Star Wars. We then get a beautiful pullback shot of this glorious space vista. I got to say, the backgrounds in Star Trek Prodigy, certainly the most beautiful we've seen in terms of the star fields and starscapes out of any Star Trek show. They would take pride of place as anyone's computer desktop background, I think. We next get a little snippet of Gwyn and Dahl talking together.
"I tried to save you.
And now we can save each other."
What is all of this?
These two obviously have quite a strong bond with each other. I feel like there's going to be a bit of a pairing up perhaps with these two characters. Next we get a look at what we've all been waiting to see for Prodigy, which is the Starship. Here is the USS Protostar, an NX registry number, which means a prototype vessel, and as Dahl puts it,
"Our ticket out of here."
based on the size of the bridge, which is almost completely encased in glass windows here, and the fact that it has a walk-on landing ramp on the bottom of the saucer section, I would put this starship around the same sort of size as the USS Defiant. Although the warp nacelles remind me a lot more of the warp nacelles we saw on the USS Enterprise in the Kelvin universe. But the bridge is certainly the most transparent we've ever seen of any Starfleet vessel. And then we hear Janeway saying,
"We've only just begun."
And Dahl concludes the trailer with the observation,
"There are a lot more stars than I thought."
So one other piece of information we got out of this trailer is a release date. We now know that Star Trek Prodigy will be dropping to Paramount Plus and Nickelodeon in the fall of 2021. To translate that into a global audience, because we don't all live in North America, it's, I guess, September, October or November of this year. I would say that Lower Decks is going to have 10 episodes of the second season. It starts on about August 12th, I believe. If we move forward 10 episodes or 10 weeks from that point, we get to around October 21. So I would guess that Prodigy will start pretty much as soon as Lower Decks finishes, which then puts Discovery Season 4 at around mid-December, if we were going to go one after the other. Although they might hold off until after Christmas, maybe. They might start Discovery Season 4 just after Christmas. They have announced that Discovery Season 4 will be airing in 2021, which means that if it's going to be after Prodigy, which will end around mid-December, if it starts sort of mid to late October. So that would put Discovery Season 4 to air somewhere between mid to late December. So it's an exciting time, I think, for Star Trek. I get the impression that we're going to have Lower Decks and then Prodigy and then Discovery Season 4 and then probably Picard Season 2 straight after and then hopefully Strange New Worlds. So we might be getting a really good run of Star Trek shows one after the other, which is going to keep me really busy. Lord knows we've had quite a quiet year this year in terms of Star Trek news. It's been since Discovery finished back in January. It's kind of been a little bit slim pickings in terms of stuff we've had to report on, apart from the various trailers that have come out for our upcoming shows. So it'll be good to get some momentum back again and get some good Star Trek content on our TVs. Guys, please don't forget to like, to comment, to share and subscribe. Click on my merchandise link in the description where you can pick up some really cool Star Trek themed t-shirts, much like this one. I'll be back tomorrow with a rundown and look at the Lower Decks Season 2 trailer that also dropped as part of the Comic-Con at Home event. Keep an eye out for that one, and I'll see you guys soon.